What it is, y'all, it's your old boy Pilk, and this is out of the ordinary to kind of cover, but I have some good news and I have some bad news for you guys, okay? So number one, the good news is we do know that Danmachi is coming back. I mean, they said they were on an indefinite break. They didn't know what was going to happen. They have some filler stuff that they're running right now, but kind of like with episode 9 when we found out there was going to be a break on that, a lot of us probably assumed that it was going to be like a week. But when they said indefinite, that really filled me with dread because indefinite really doesn't give you any kind of hope for when or if things will return. Now, if you know anything about anime scheduling, they have to then work with the networks because they've got shows scheduled months and months and months, if not years in advance. So a lot of times it's going to be really hard for them to work back into the schedule if they missed like a date or something like that. That's why it is so critical that they get these episodes out, where sometimes we might be harsh on the animation and all that kind of stuff. Sometimes it might be a little more difficult for them to get episodes out on time. They might, we've seen with some other series like Sailor Moon Crystal and with Dragon Ball Super and things like that, where they drop episodes that kind of look ugly and then they fix them on the backside for the DVD release and all that. That does happen from time to time, but largely the community doesn't really tolerate that anymore, so really didn't even at the time. So these anime studios are under a ton of pressure. Like, if you don't know, their schedules are grueling. The people are underpaid and overworked, and it's really hard to get these episodes out. So when you hear something like an indefinite break, it really does fill, at least, those of us kind of in the know, with immense dread. Like, when or if will we ever see this series again? I have some bad news, and that is that we are not getting Danmachi back this week. A lot of us thought it might happen. It unfortunately is not going to be the case. We are not getting Danmachi back this week. It looks like we may have quite a bit of a weight on our hands. But the good news is they have told us what's coming, and they've dropped some teaser information on us. So, it looks like Danmachi Season 5, the last 4 episodes, 12, 13, 14, and 15, are all going to drop during the spring anime season. So, we don't know exactly what dates that entails yet. We will get more information on that here in the near future. But we're talking probably like March, April, like late March, early April before we see any episodes, which is unfortunate. But if you're like me, and if you're a huge anime fan, and if you're really excited to see like the best of the best of the best of these episodes, this is going to give JC staff some time to really put a spit shine on these episodes. Now, I don't know if I've really talked about it in the reviews, but if you go look up what JC staff is doing lately, they have a lot of series out right now. They really kind of probably push themselves to the brink and beyond. So it does suck, and it feels really crappy that the series we love kind of got the short end of the stick, but unfortunately some series was going to have to at the end of the day. It's just the unfortunate side effect of all this. But the good news is we know that they are aware of this, and they're going to work to rectify it, and that we have now a tentative date-ish time when we can expect episode 12 of season 5, and now we could really hope for like the best possible animation. These episodes, with any luck, will be the best of the best that we've ever seen come out of Danmachi. I really hope they take the time to make this just absolutely amazing. In fact, I would argue if they don't, there's really no excuse, honestly. With this extra time, there's just no excuse for them not to bring their absolute A game. Now, I'm going to kind of deviate here for a second and say, a lot of people have asked me, like, how do I feel about Season 5? Is it the best you've ever seen? And I think I've got my honest answer here is Season 4, to me, was still my favorite season. Now, what was your favorite season? Comment down below. That'd be really interesting to see. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of fans of Season 3. Season 3 is fantastic. I think Season 4 is my favorite. I'm sure a lot of people are going to like the current season. I think this is probably tied with Season 3 for me. But once again, I'm highly scrutinizing some of the series. And if I'm honest, some of the stuff that... Because I'm not current on the light novels, but I am recent enough on the light novels to know some of the stuff that they've skipped. A little more current than I was when I first started the series first started the season. But some of the things that they've skipped, some of the things they've omitted, some really pivotal stuff that I think changes the tone for some of these side characters. It just really, unfortunately, feels like JC Staff picks and chooses just the Bell-centric stories. And I think that's truly a detriment to especially Welv, who had just an amazing story in Book 15 that they completely just omitted entirely. If you don't know what I'm talking about, please go read that book. 15 and 8 and Book 15 and Book 8 are two books that they completely just never, ever, ever really covered in the series at all. And it's truly unfortunate because those have some great stories. They just aren't Bell-centric stories. So for whatever reason, the anime tends to omit those things. They'd even be great like movies or OVAs or something like that. They don't have to make it a part of the series. Make it like a side story or something. Do something with it. But that's nevertheless my personal opinion. But getting back to the anime, some of the things they've done in this season have been fantastic. I absolutely adore this season for what it is, and I really feel like every season tries to go above and beyond. But for me, I think Season 4, from the standpoint of how the animation was treated, how the story was treated, how the characters were treated, just all in all, all of those aspects for me, I think were just more successful, if I'm honest, in Season 4. Not considering the timeliness of these episodes. I'm not taking that into consideration. I'm simply talking about the way that JC Staff has been able to bring the light novels to our screens, our computer screens, our TV screens, so on and so forth. So I really feel like Season 4 was my favorite, but I'd like to hear your comments on that down below. The good news is we have some teaser footage right here. Like I said, we got the shot of Bell with Otaro's like huge sword right there, which I could swear that was, we already saw that. Whatever. This showdown, like the next episode is going to be completely insane. Like absolutely, completely insane. So just shout out to Anime Corner here for, dropping all this. There's quite a few, I've seen a lot of talk about this online, so it's nice to see Danmachi get some shine, even though it's not necessarily in the best of circumstances. It is nice to see Danmachi get very, highly recognized, even if it isn't for the greatest thing. But with any luck, JC Staff can pull out their absolute best, give us the best work we've ever seen, and hopefully these next few episodes will be solid 10 out of 10 or higher, because I'm not opposed to giving bonus points for stellar and amazing adaptations. For now, I'm going to read the light novels. I'm going to try to catch up. Let me know what you guys think in the comments as always, and I'll see you guys for the next Danmachi episode review, and maybe even Wistoria chapters, which are coming up here soon. And we're always covering the game. Check out the mobile game. A lot of fun. See you on the next one.